Good afternoon, colleagues. I would like to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude to the leadership team of DNP of Color and also to my colleague, Dr. Janice Linton, for inviting me to be part of this presentation. It is with gratitude that I am honored to be here today. So the title of my presentation is Healing the Healer, Cultivating Self-Care Through Mindfulness. And with that being said, as a mindfulness coach, I would not do you any justice if we did not start off this presentation with a mindful activity. So before we begin, I would like to invite you to take a minute to be present. I'd like to invite you to gently close your eyes if you choose, and just begin to become aware of your breath. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth, and releasing all the stress of the day. Releasing any tension, just kind of noticing your body and just choosing to be present in this sacred space at this time. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. One more time. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And calling in the love and light of the divine creator, our angels, and all those who serve us to be in this space. May this space be a sacred space. May this space be a space of healing as we choose to be present. And at the end of this presentation, may we all receive clarity. One more deep breath, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and let's begin. Welcome. Thank you so much for participating in that with me. And at the end of our presentation, we will also have another mindfulness activity. The objectives for this presentation, as you can see, at the end of this presentation, the learner will be able to discuss the impact of self-care on one's overall health and well-being. Describe how mindfulness practices can improve emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. And the last objective is identify mindfulness self-care practices that can be incorporated in our daily life. So what is self-care? Self-care basically is giving kindness and compassion to yourself, or if I speak in first person, giving kindness and compassion to ourselves. So it's self-compassion. Self-care is taking time out of each and every day to care for yourself. Taking time out of each and every day to acknowledge yourself. Taking time out of each and every day to give yourself a little bit of love. Self-care is cultivating a nurturing relationship with yourself, not only on the outside, but cultivating a nurturing relationship with yourself from the inside. Because remember, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and your inner world is a reflection of your outer world. Now we have to explore what mindfulness is. And mindfulness, basically, in a nutshell, is choosing to be present. There are 3 core skills of mindfulness, which includes focus awareness, open monitoring, and acceptance. So when we think about focus awareness. We're thinking about paying attention with purpose, being conscious and focusing on what is happening now in the present moment. For example, an example of focus awareness will be focusing on your breath, on your breathing. Then we have the other skill of open monitoring, which is the same thing as present moment awareness. Present moment awareness means being present in the now, not focusing on the past or thinking about the future. And acceptance, which is non-judgment. Accepting our thoughts without judgment and releasing any resistance to our need to control. So those are the 3 core skills of mindfulness. And I am accepting the fact right now that I forgot to put a closed parenthesis around non-judgment. I am accepting that. I am being present. I am not going to judge myself. So that's part of non-judgment and being present. It is what it is. However, we will not stay stuck. We will choose to move forward. So where do I begin? Lei Tzu states that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step. So we begin in the beginning. In thinking about self-care, we must realize that you matter. You meaning me, and you meaning the collective, each one of us in this room. We must realize that we are important, that we matter. One of the things that we tend to do, or I'll speak of myself, is, well, I used to be a people pleaser, thinking I have to do everything right. I have to make everybody happy, my family, my children, my colleagues, and that only caused undue stress and anxiety. So now in the space that I am in, I realize I don't have to please everyone. The person that I have to please first and foremost is myself. I don't have to wait for other people to validate me, to tell me, okay, you're good enough or you're bad enough. I now realize my worth. And so part of self-care is realizing your worth, realizing that you're good enough just the way you are. And you give yourself permission to take care of yourself, and you allow others to take care of themselves. As nurses, sometimes we tend to have some codependency tendency where we think we can fix everyone. No, we need to allow people to take care of themselves. Give them back their power to take care of themselves, knowing that they can take care of themselves, and you have the power to take care of yourself. Another part of self-care is learning how to set healthy boundaries. And we have to set boundaries in our personal relationships and in our professional relationships. We cannot assume that people know how to treat us. We must learn to teach people how to treat us. And we must decide what we will or what we won't accept. A simple way of beginning to set healthy boundaries is start to take your lunch break. This is the time I'm going to take my lunch break at work. If you're in an office, put a sign on your door. If you're in the clinical environment, have your colleagues cover for you and take that 30 minutes, and do not allow anyone with their non-emergency to disturb you. So be honest. Another component of setting boundaries is making a list of your negotiables and your non-negotiables. Be honest in your communication about what you need. Take accountability for your actions. Learn to practice clear communication. For example, stop this communication about you made me, you. Own yourself in your communication. So in communication, instead of saying you did this, you made me feel, you, change the narrative. I don't feel comfortable when. I need to take care of me. I respect the way you feel, however I am feeling. Please understand that it's not about you, it's about what I need now. When we begin to have a clear communication, we open up our throat chakra and we can speak our truth. Oh, this is another big one. Learn to say no. You know, the word no is a complete sentence. It's a sentence with 2 words, no. Give yourself the permission to say no to anything that makes you unhappy or drains your energy. It is only by saying no that you can concentrate on the things that are really important, says Steve Jobs. Saying no and speaking your truth may appear difficult when you're trying to please others. And when we go against our heart, when we go against our gut, we create resistance. So if someone asks you something, just take a minute, check in with your heart. Does this feel right? And if it doesn't feel right, develop the courage to say no with love. Part of owning our power is learning to say no. Another important part of self-care is learning to love yourself without judgment. And owning your story. This is part of having that self-awareness. It's important for us to understand that our thoughts impact our emotions, and our emotions impact our decisions, and our decisions impact our actions, our behaviors, and our outcomes. So we have to be able to begin to have an awareness of our thoughts. We have to begin to be aware of our self-talk. We have to begin to own our story and release the things that no longer serve us. So in thinking about our thoughts and our emotions and loving ourselves without judgment, there are times when we have our inner critic. I call that our Bob, that triggers negative self-talk, which impacts the way we love ourselves, the way we treat ourselves. And Bob comes to us with some self-limiting thoughts like, that's too risky. You don't have time for that. That's making excuses. Bob is making excuses for us. Or sometimes Bob comes to us in making up stories that are not true. They're always after me. They hate me. That's our inner critic, Bob. And then there's time when our inner critic, Bob, comes and creates reruns in our lives, when we self-sabotage ourselves. It's important for us to take our power back from Bob, own our thoughts, own our emotions. And then, in addition to that, as we become aware of our thoughts and our emotions, we release the things that no longer serve us, and we give ourselves the gift of forgiveness. Not only do we forgive others for the things that they've done to us, but we forgive ourselves. Forgiveness is a gift that we give to ourselves, not because the other deserve it, but because we deserve to live a life free of pain, free of suffering. Set the intention for each day. When we begin to move with mindfulness, we begin to learn that our intentions will create the desired outcomes in our lives. So for me, I have a weekly list of intentions. For example, on Mondays, my intention is gratitude. Tuesday, forgiveness. Wednesday, acceptance. Thursday, compassion. Friday, loving kindness. Saturday, just be, and Sunday, who am I? So how does this process work? The process works like this. At the beginning of the day, I look at my intention. For example, if my intention for that day is compassion, I look at compassion. Then I close my eyes and I go into a silent meditation, repeating the mantra or the word compassion. I release compassion into the universe and I sit in the stillness of compassion for a few minutes. You can begin with 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. So I sit in that stillness with compassion. At the end, I open my eyes and I return to the present moment, knowing that I am going to move through the day with compassion. I am going to move through the day from a state of non-judgmental, from being non-judgmental to a state of compassion. So every soul that I encounter through that day, in my interactions, I am going to practice compassion without judgment. And I am also going to practice compassion with myself. So that's just one example of how you can use the intention of compassion and kind of, I call it infusing it through your day. So, no more excuses. I don't have enough time. There's too much to do. No one else can do my job. Remember, there are no emergencies except the ones we create. And part of mindfulness, part of mind, and no more excuses. I don't have enough time. There is too much to do. No one else can do my job. There are no emergencies except the ones we create. So part of mindfulness is living in the state of whatever is happening in the moment, and I am going to move with the flow. And then I'm going to decide consciously how I am going to move through this situation. As we become more mindful and as we develop self-care activities, we must begin to have a mindset that inspires healthy eating. We need to be intentional about our food choices, and we need to be present when we're eating. So that means putting away any distractions, and we focus on the experience of eating, that's being fully present. As you chew the food, feel the sensations of the flavors bursting in your mouth. Allow yourself to be present. Concentrate on chewing. Feel the sensation of swallowing the food as it goes into your stomach. Just choose to be present during your mealtime, to be authentically present without any distraction. And when your mind wanders away, bringing back your attention to the process of being fully present. Another part of mindfulness is learning to strengthen your body with movement. The only bad movement is the one that didn't happen. So you begin to practice mindful movement. For example, another part of mindfulness and self-care is to strengthen the body with movement. Practice mindful movement. So, for example, in going for a walk outside, be aware, be present in the walk. Be fully present. Be mindful of the experience. so that you can actually experience rather than being lost in your thoughts. Notice how you feel when your feet make contact with the ground. Notice your breath, breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Also, bring your attention to your surroundings. Notice what's around you, the trees, the animals. Listen to the birds sing. Observe without judgment. And at the end of your mindful walk, express gratitude. Gratitude for the moment and gratitude for the experience. I hope these suggestions are being helpful for you. Surround yourself with people who celebrate you. You can't change the people around you, but you can change the people you choose to be around. Let me repeat that. You can't change the people around you, but you can choose to change the people to be around. Other people's perception of you is a direct reflection of them. However, owning your power, your response to them is an awareness of you. We must begin to recognize the nature of our relationships. Some of our relationships are only seasonal relationships. And when that season is done, we must move on. Remember, the person I was yesterday is not the person I am today. And it's okay. It's okay to change and it's okay to grow. I am changing and that's okay. And of course, another important part of mindfulness is developing a spiritual practice. Remember, your sacred space is where you can find yourself over and over again. So have a sacred space in your home and develop a spiritual practice, whether it's prayer or whether it's meditation where you're going in to your inner sanctuary. Have that space, and in that space, connect with yourself. Commune with yourself without shame, without judgment. Have that sacred space where you can just be authentically you. Just breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And now, as we move to the final section of my presentation, I would like to invite you to join in a mindfulness practice with me. We are going to practice the Ho'opono meditation. Ho'opono is an ancient Hawaiian prayer, which means to make double right with ourselves and with others. When we practice Ho'opono, we are clearing the unconscious memories that we have carried with us throughout our lifetime. These memories keep us stuck in a state of suffering. They separate us from our connection with the divine creator. They separate us from our connection with ourselves, and they separate us from our connection with our loved ones. And the bigger picture is they separate us from our connection with humanity. In order for us to be healed, in order for our relationships to be healed, we must work on ourselves. The cleansing must begin from within. With each difficult situation we encounter, we cannot approach it from a state of blame, but we use it as an opportunity to move forward. We use it as an opportunity to take accountability for our role in our relationships with ourselves and with others. We all have forgiveness and unconditional healing to ourselves and to others. So as we open our hearts to giving and to receiving unconditional love, we ask for forgiveness. We express our gratitude, and the prayer includes the following words: I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. So let's prepare for a practice. Just take a moment to get comfortable in your chair or whatever position you're in. Make any adjustment to your body posture. And as you begin to settle into your body, I invite you, if you choose, to close your eyes or softly lower your gaze. And when you're ready, bring your attention to your breath, noticing the rise and the fall of your chest, and just allowing your breath to be normal. With each inhale, noticing the breath coming in the body, and with each exhale, noticing the breath leaving the body. Allowing your mind to slow down, letting go, letting go, letting go. Now bringing your awareness to yourself and repeating and allowing yourself to receive love. Letting go of all feelings of unforgiveness and repeating to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And now, if it's possible, bringing your awareness to someone who you've had perhaps a difficult relationship with, perhaps someone you don't feel sympathy or compassion for. Seeing if possible, you can just let go of any feeling of resentment, reminding yourself to see that person as a whole and complete being, deserving love and forgiveness. Seeing that person as someone who feels pain, as someone who suffers. Seeing if it's possible to extend to this person words of loving kindness. And repeating out loud or in your heart, I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now allowing your awareness to open in all directions to yourself, to someone you love, to a difficult person, and to all beings living everywhere, living in richness, living in poverty, living in war, living in peace, living in hunger, living in abundance, being aware of all the joys and the suffering that all beings experience, offering love and kindness, and repeating out loud or in your heart, I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And now, bringing this practice to a close by coming back to extending loving kindness to yourself. Allowing yourself to receive loving kindness again by saying to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Allowing the energy of loving kindness to flow through you and just being grateful for the moment and the loving energy that you have generated here. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and bring your awareness to this present moment. Welcome back, knowing that you can practice this meditation at any time you choose to. Thank you so much for practicing this meditation with you. Thank you so much for practicing this wonderful Ho'opono loving kindness meditation with me. And now, bringing this presentation to a close, I want to offer my sincere gratitude to you for being present with me in this space. Remember, you will never be satisfied with your work until you are truly satisfied with your life. This presentation is dedicated to my wonderful daughter, Lucy Pink, who is now with us in the spirit. If you would like more information about mindfulness, please feel free to contact me. My contact information is there. I'd love to work with you. I am forever grateful for you. I am forever grateful for the space that we've shared. I love you. I honor you. May the rest of your day be filled with love and light. Namaste. And now, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.